15 people have reportedly been injured in a major Russian strike on Ukraine. The attack came hours after Russia and Ukraine began a prisoner exchange of hundreds of soldiers and civilians. Ukrainian officials say 14 ballistic missiles and 250 drones primarily targeted the capital, Kyiv. Several buildings have been damaged. It's one of the biggest aerial strikes on the Ukrainian capital of the three-year war. Michael Clark has more.
Kyiv came under a sustained drone attack and missile attack last night, lasting 7 hours. Reportedly, 250 drones were used and 14 ballistic missiles. It sent the population again underground into the tube stations to shelter for most of the night. And there are indications that there were other attacks in other parts of Ukraine, in the south and further east, and as far west as Odessa. So that air operation on the Russians' part goes on. But the Ukrainians hit back themselves on Yelets. Last night, they claimed to have hit a battery factory on the Russian side of the border, deep inside Russia, in fact, at Yelets. And the battery factory creates batteries, manufactures batteries for missiles. And so Yelets itself is not a particularly important town, but the battery factory is, because without batteries, Russia's ballistic and cruise missiles on a nightly basis. Meanwhile, the ground war goes on, and attention at the moment is concentrated on Kyiv and the area in the north of Ukraine. Kyiv is the second city. It's only less than 20 miles away from the border, and reportedly the Russians are massing troops on their side of the border. Ukrainians have been talking about this for several weeks now, and the expectation is that they're going to launch some sort of offensive in the north against the Kyiv area and further northwest against Sumy, which is another major city in the north of Ukraine. What they want to do is to create pressure along the border to pin Ukrainian forces in place so that those Ukrainian forces can't go further south, where they're now badly needed for the summer offensives, which the Russians are also pursuing in the south. And the other reason that they might want forces on the Ukrainian side of the border is it gives them a foot in the Kharkiv Oblast, the Kharkiv region and the Sumy region. And if they have a foot in those regions, then in any future negotiations, and we're a long way from them at the moment, but in any future negotiations, they will say, we're already in those regions, we will keep that footprint, and of course we want more, just as we want more in the 4 other oblasts that we have a footprint in, but we haven't fully conquered. Yesterday, about 500 prisoners were exchanged on each side, 500 each, and today another 350 odd on each side. We expect these prisoner exchanges to go on again tomorrow until both sides have exchanged 1,000 prisoners, as they agreed to do last weekend at the Istanbul summit. This is all good in itself. It's a humanitarian gesture. Both sides want it. But in reality, it doesn't take us any nearer to a ceasefire. In fact, if we think about it logically, we are probably further away from a ceasefire now in Ukraine than we were about a month ago.